any category on the list. The closest group was Asian Pacific Islander, but that didn't fit because Asia is quite diverse. Yet the form only had one box for us all. If a person who didn't know me simply looked at the Asian Pacific Islander box checked on my form, they wouldn't know which country I'm from. Asians are lumped into one category, one blob, with no distinction made for our unique identities. We don't have a defined country on these forms. We are one mass tied together because of geography. Asia, comprising 48 countries, is 4 times bigger than the United States and is the most populous continent in the world, with diverse people groups. Yet, Asians are treated as an aggregate. In fact, when I was young, I thought Asian referred to someone from China. I didn't realize the term also applied to me. As a teenager and young adult, I used to be angry at God for my skin color and for putting me in the middle of 2 cultures. If God wanted me to be Indian, why had my parents left India? If God wanted me to be American, why did I look Indian? Why had God made my life complicated in this way? Everyone had different expectations of me. Americans looked at my external appearance and expected me to be Indian, not knowing if I spoke English. Strangers stayed distant and distrustful because of my skin color or because of my ethnic name. Indians expected me to be Indian, sometimes speaking to me in Hindi or some other language. Yet I do not speak these languages. I only understand a little bit of my parents' mother tongue, Punjabi. Sometimes I wanted to shout to my peers in the world, "I'm American!" I went through phases when I rebelled against anything Indian, to the point of saying, "I'm not Indian." Friends and family would look at me in surprise and amusement because that's not what my skin color conveyed to them. I often felt like I was living in a land of in-between, a country with no name, a liminal space, not fitting in anywhere. Other than my own family, I didn't know anyone like myself, of Indian descent but raised in the United States. Even today, most of the Indians I know grew up in India and came to the United States for a college or a job. Living in a small southern town, I did not grow up close to others like me. Plus, most Indians are Hindus, which placed me further in that land of in-between, for I had broken with my Hindu background and my parents' religion and began attending church as a child and teenager. In my 20s, due to job prospects, I moved from Alabama to Milwaukee, a city that would later be designated the most segregated city in America. People sometimes ask me, wasn't it really racist in the South? If only racism could be so easily contained. People are often shocked, and some even express disbelief when I tell them of my experiences with racism in Milwaukee, the time when I walked into a store and was ignored while salespeople approached other customers, being given the finger while simply driving, the clerk at the exit door at the Costco who spends extra time looking over my receipt while glossing over others. I've counted and watched multiple times. Or there have been times when I would share about my experiences, and others would launch into an explanation of the hierarchical structures between Italian, Polish, German, and other European groups that existed in Milwaukee, and the discrimination against Italians. When I had a story of oppression to tell, why were white people so quick to draw parallels with me rather than the oppressor? People of color have consistently been marginalized in a white-centric society. We have felt invisible and lonely. We have been devalued, attacked, beaten, shot, lynched, enslaved, exiled, killed. Asians have been marginalized and made invisible. Black people have been devalued, enslaved, and murdered. Indigenous people have been erased and oppressed. Latin Americans have been discriminated against and publicly marginalized. This is by no means an exhaustive list of affected groups, and these adjectives are incomplete and inadequate to describe all the trauma, pain, and centuries of oppression. But with increasing loneliness, alienation, disconnection, and polarization, not only in the United States, but also globally, finding a sense of belonging is an urgent task for the person of color today. Living in this in-between place lends itself to a peculiar kind of loneliness, specifically ethnic and racial loneliness.